So, how's the progress going on this project?
I was hoping to go a little faster today. We had some setbacks, beginning with the fact that a little miscommunication between Steve and myself. The homeowner, who is rather particular, wanted this tower to be perfectly squared with her house. We actually built it, or I put the footings in based upon how it was squared with the landscape. She wasn't happy this morning, so as a result, we had to loosen 3 of these columns. With the sledgehammer, knock the whole pavilion 6 inches off its axis, and that probably sent us back half a day.
And what's the projected finish line for? How many more hours of work do you have?
I think we probably have a day and a half. What we're going to be doing next is we're going to finish the decking. We have to do the decorative wood around the base to hide the cement columns. We're going to have to put an A-frame roof over the columns with cedar shingles, and then we're going to use antique 5-panel doors for a coffered ceiling to be mounted underneath the A-frame of the roof. And then the bell will be bolted to a beam which is behind the doors. And then of course painting, which will probably take place next week.
Now, what's the history of the bell?
The bell and the project are pretty much intertwined. What we have going on here is the homeowner, we've done a lot, Steve and I have done a lot of work for this lady over the years, huge amount. And this land has been in her family for many years. And she was planting a tree, ironically, right in this spot, which is why there's a knoll. And as she was digging, she found this bell. And her family had a steamship line in South America at the turn of the century, and she suspects it was probably from one of her grandfather's ships. So she asked us to come up with something that reflected the old feel of her house and her family history, and to give the bell a place of prominence in her garden. So Steve and I felt that the best place to put it was where she originally intended the tree. And then we were able to find the 4 columns, the same vintage as the bell, and we came up with a pavilion. So it's going to be something that looks like it's from 1850, 1890, with the actual columns and the bell itself being of that vintage.
Now, will this tractor boom fit between these columns? And if not, how are you going to get the bell up?
Terry, you're asking things I haven't thought of yet. No, it won't. And that's causing some issues with Steve and I, in that at 300 to 350 pounds, Steve is being, I think, overly cautious in how we can put this bell up. I think 3 or 4 of us can pick it up, and you can bolt it to the ceiling. Steve wants to find a way to use the tractor and to build scaffolding where we can push the bell from the tractor bucket into the scaffolding and then jack the scaffolding up so we can bolt the bell to the ceiling. But I'm concerned that's probably going to add another day to our whole work schedule.
So that throws off the day and a half?
Throws off the day and a half, and more importantly, throws off my budget.
So now who do you think is tougher on the project, the client or yourself?
Well, the client.
Client?
This client has put Steve and I in business. She has given us a lot of work. We've done a lot of place turning our house from a split-level ranch into an 1835 Palladian villa. And she is very, very particular.
So that would be this property here?
Yes.
Would you mind giving us a tour?
I think afterwards I'd love to give you a tour.
Excellent.
Provided she doesn't drive us off the property because we're taking too long and the bell tower isn't square with the house.
So let's go inside.
We can go inside.
Okay.